The problem, which this boils down to, I'll be as brief as possible on it, is that Europeans cannot accept the fact that what ISIS and other terrorists do is very obviously the worst possible interpretation of Islam. It is obviously the worst possible interpretation of Islam for Muslims worldwide, and it is obviously the very worst version of Islam possible for non-Muslims worldwide. Nevertheless, it is a plausible interpretation of the texts in front of them and the tradition from which they come.
After the recent brutal stabbing of Australian Christian bishop Emmanuel by a radical Muslim who said he attacked the bishop in the name of Allah, all the warnings Douglas Murray has been preaching to the world have gained renewed attention. This incident highlights the dangers of radical Islamic beliefs that the left-wing media tries to downplay, proving the incompatibility of Islam with Western values, serving as a wake-up call to the Western world.
And I could be here all day if I wanted to list all of the impossible things that you and I are expected to believe, but let me just go over 4 of the impossible things which we're meant to believe, and I'll do them as briefly as I can. The first of the impossible things which we're asked to believe is that Islam is a peaceful religion. It's very evidently not. No religion is entirely peaceful, but Islam is especially not peaceful.
As Douglas rightly says, Islam is not a peaceful religion. And this resonates, and a lot of people agree with him. It's very clear from historical and contemporary events that Islam, unlike Christianity, which preaches turning the other cheek, often promotes violence. The Quran contains verses that can be interpreted as advocating for jihad, and this has been used to justify acts of terror. While no religion is entirely peaceful, we can all agree that the level of violence associated with Islam is particularly concerning. It's very important to acknowledge these realities instead of adhering to politically correct but misleading narratives being pushed by the left-wing media. Being aware of this truth is essential for addressing the challenges of integration and assimilation in the Western countries.
I'm not an academic or a politician, which may mean precarious things career-wise, but it means at least I don't have to ever be politically correct, and I hope I won't be today. I'm going to take my text from Alice in Wonderland, which is one of the best texts to understand what's happening in Europe at the moment. And you'll all remember the conversation between Alice and the White Queen, when the White Queen tries to urge Alice to practice thinking of impossible things. And Alice says, one can't think of impossible things. And the White Queen says, nonsense. When I was your age, I used to spend at least half an hour a morning thinking impossible things. Why, I used to be able to think of at least 6 impossible things before breakfast. Well, Europeans are expected to think far more than 6 impossible things before breakfast these days, and I could be here all day if I wanted to list all of the impossible things that you and I are expected to believe, but let me just go over 4 of the impossible things which we're meant to believe, and I'll do them as briefly as I can.
Douglas goes further to reference Alice in Wonderland to brilliantly explain the absurdity of the politically correct narrative surrounding Islam. Just as the White Queen asked Alice to believe in impossible things, Europeans are expected to believe that Islam is a peaceful religion, despite overwhelming evidence that shows otherwise. This denial of reality is dangerous. The Quran contains verses that can be interpreted as promoting violence and jihad, which is constantly used to justify acts of terror all the time. Ignoring these facts in favor of being politically correct only makes the situation worse. It's very important to face the truth head-on, rather than indulge in comforting beliefs that are false. Being able to point out the inherent issues within Islam is essential for safeguarding our values and ensuring a peaceful society.
At the beginning, the life of Muhammad is so important if one is going to understand this. And as the professor said, when Muhammad was weak, he was more generous. When he was strong, that generosity palpably, visibly declined somewhat. And we see a similar thing in the world today, and we see a similar thing, I would argue, not only in Islamic societies, but within Islamic communities in European societies. When Islam is in a minority, it speaks a very great deal about minority rights. We cannot help noticing that when Islam is in a majority, or at least in a position to rule, those minority rights go out of the window. Minority rights of sexual minorities, the minority rights of religious minorities, and so on. The problem, which this boils down to, I'll be as brief as possible on it, is that Europeans cannot accept the fact that what ISIS and other terrorists do is very obviously the worst possible interpretation of Islam. It is obviously the worst possible interpretation of Islam for Muslims worldwide, and it is obviously the very worst version of Islam possible for non-Muslims worldwide. Nevertheless, it is a plausible interpretation of the texts in front of them and the tradition from which they come.
Douglas Murray's comparison between Muhammad's generosity when weak and his decline in generosity when strong is not only spot on, but a powerful analogy for understanding the behavior of Islamic communities. When Islam is a minority, it advocates strongly for minority rights. However, when it gains power, these rights go out the window, especially for sexual and religious minorities. As Douglas rightly points out, this pattern is evident in various Islamic societies and communities in Europe. The reluctance of Europeans to acknowledge that groups like ISIS represent a plausible interpretation of Islamic beliefs is dangerous. While ISIS's actions are the worst interpretation of Islam, they are still rooted in the religion's beliefs and traditions. Ignoring this reality in favor of political correctness, being pushed by the left-wing media undermines efforts to address the challenges of integration and assimilation in the West.
We are, of course, always reminded that there is a problem of authority within Islam, and that is certainly true. But it also means that the sources matter even more than those of any other religion, because it means that the source is what you have to go on. It means that the source will most likely always trump any organization or any individual who claims to speak for the religion more than the sources.
Douglas is absolutely right here. This lack of a central authority means that the Islamic texts themselves become the ultimate guide. Unlike other religions where a central figure or organization can interpret and adapt teachings, Islam's reliance on its sources makes these texts important. This reliance on the Quran and Hadith means that interpretations, even those by extremist groups like ISIS, cannot be easily dismissed. They are rooted in the same text that all Muslims follow. When the sources themselves can be interpreted in ways that justify violence and oppression, it becomes difficult to argue that these interpretations are isolated or unrepresentative of the religion. As Douglas rightly says, Europeans must understand that the texts of Islam play a crucial role in shaping the beliefs and actions of its followers. Therefore, addressing this is key to ensuring a peaceful society.
If you doubt that, I would urge you to consider one particular source, which if there is an authority within the Muslim world you might turn to, and that is the University of Al-Azhar in Cairo. And I'm very sorry that both the Egyptian ambassador and also our friend from the Fatwa Council are absent now. But if you look at what happened last December, a year ago, when a young Jordanian pilot shot down over ISIS-controlled territory, and you'll remember that he was burned alive brutally by the maniacs of ISIS. That young man was a Muslim himself, and the people of ISIS claimed to be acting in the name of Islam as well. Al-Azhar in Cairo had an extraordinary debate about this, one aspect of which was this, that the senior clerics said that what had happened should be punished, that the people who did that and burned that brave young Muslim Jordanian pilot should be punished. They should be punished, incidentally, by either being crucified or by having alternate legs and arms cut off. This was because they had broken the Islamic prohibition on the desecration of a body. You might think that crucifixion somewhat broke that prohibition as well. But they also said, very strikingly, that the thing to bear in mind about ISIS was that they were indeed terrorists, they were indeed extremists, but, quote, not to be described as heretics.
Finally, Douglas offers us the only solution possible at this moment, and a horrifying example of the consequences that await us if we don't act now, by referencing the University of Al-Azhar's stance on the brutal execution of the Jordanian pilot by ISIS, which clearly highlights the deep-rooted problems within Islamic authority. Even Al-Azhar, a leading Islamic institution, responded with a punishment that mirrors the brutality of ISIS, suggesting either crucifixion or mutilation in this day and age. This reaction reveals a troubling aspect of Islamic law. When the highest authorities in Islam resort to such extreme measures, it becomes difficult to differentiate between the so-called extremists and mainstream interpretations. What everyone needs to recognize is that such interpretations are not marginal, but are embedded in respected Islamic institutions. which further proves Douglas's point that this issue is essential for addressing the complexities of integrating Muslim communities while safeguarding our societal values. What are your thoughts on what Murray has to say on this panel? Be sure to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments section what your thoughts are. See you in the next video.